if anybody's looking for new construction, we have some deals for you.
Yes.
And some beautiful homes.
Beautiful
Yes.
homes, very affordable. At Deer Trail Estates, there's some open houses today, and if you want to see us there, we'll be there from 2 to 4. But Ashley Cooper is holding open house at the moment until 2 at 6146 Hazel Lake in Conroe. And if you want to check that out, please go to Deer Trail Estates. You'll see the open house signs directing you in. There's multiple listings that are out there, but please mention that you heard about it through the RU show, and they will hook you up.
And the great thing to go with today's topic is that home actually qualifies for up to 33 programs for down payment assistance,
Really?
and up to $21,859.
Can they get the house and I get the money?
No, sir, don't work that way. But the good thing is, we can help you get it.
That's right.
So give us a call.
Yes, sir. How they call you?
So you can reach us at One Innovative Group at 877-852-4401. Once again, that's 877-852-4401. And a nice thing to mention, if you have any questions while we're on our live segments, you can actually text that same number,
Yes.
and we can try to answer your questions while we're still on the show.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the button,
Then, yes.
Notification bell.
notification bell.
Yes.
Not a button.
No, sir.
No.
It looks
The
like a bell.
bell.
Tinkle, tinkle. Okay. Hit the bell, damn it. And then we go from there. Now, today has been about down payment assistance, okay? And remember, down payment is not just for broke people. So now we're reaching out to all Chris's cousins who, because Chris, they got money just flowing. You have no idea, because, I'm still, why won't your cousin let me drive a Rolls Royce? I got a problem with that. Okay, so.
You mean the one off of blocks?
Yeah, yo. So, Chris,
Yes, sir.
when it comes to down payment assistance, you said the houses that we have in Deer Trail Estate qualify for up to $21,000.
Correct.
Okay, so these programs are available based on that house.
Yes, that's specific to that house.
Mhm.
And the great thing is, like I mentioned earlier, is I was able to look in our MLS, and I went to our listing, and the icon was there for the down payment assistance, so I was actually able to see what someone might be qualified for that property within seconds. And then, of course, that's like just the initial getting of information,
Right.
so we'd actually have to go through and see what the criteria of each program would be, and then start making the connections from there.
Okay,
Correct.
Because one of the things that always has concerned me about down payment assistance programs is a lot of these new buyers were not prepared to own a home. They were prepared to pay for it, but were not prepared to own it. And I know but all the programs don't have buyer education.
They do not. Each program has separate requirements. I was talking about some that don't. I know of a program that one of our clients is going through Easter Services, based in the city of Houston, and she's actually currently going through her home buying classes to prepare her when she's in that home to, manage those unforeseen expenses that may come up, and hopefully help her make sure that she's making her payments on time,
Right.
and be prepared for those instances that maybe the AC, something happens with that, or maybe you get a clog and you need to call a plumber, that you need to have the money for those funds.
Yeah, and also in conjunction with the new home buy, it's so very important that the buyer understands the warranty part of
Correct.
buying a new home. Because, there are things that happen. It's happened to us. If it wasn't for the warranty, that's out of pocket. But you need to know what's covered in your house, why it's necessary to have extended coverage after the initial warranty. Why I always like to tell you, I got both warranty on my house. Okay. When it comes to down payment assistance and education, there's one thing that's always stood out to me. My sister said this years ago, you can supply housing to people, but they don't know how to take care of it because they weren't educated on how to
Right.
take care of
Correct.
the house.
Because there's a lot of people
yeah.
that are first-time homeowners,
Exactly.
but those families may have never owned a home.
Exactly.
So they don't have
Yes.
that experience that some of us got with our parents that have seen that home maintenance and stuff.
Exactly. I remember one time when I was a lender, a lady I did a loan for, actually husband and wife, they called me and was like, who's supposed to cut the grass?
That you know what? That's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get in there, and the kids have always rented and had people do
Yeah.
for them. Suddenly they get a letter from the homeowners association.
Yes.
They're like, "Oh my God! Well, I thought the HOA was cutting my grass." I said, "Where did you hear that?"
Right.
Oh, they didn't hear that. They just thought that.
They thought
you know?
that. There
Well,
was
and
an assumption.
I think everybody at this table knows our neighbors who don't cut their grass. The HOA actually started doing it, and they're, that's not a free service, folks.
No, they get
Oh,
billed
It
for
ends up
that.
If
that
the
it gets on
city
your
or
bill.
HOA has to come in and cut your grass because you're not doing it,
Right.
it's adding up.
And what's going to end up happening is once it gets to title, they're going to get a nice little statement of what you owe,
Oh,
and that's going to
Schedule
be
C,
paid.
I need the payoff for this right here. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I mean, but it's not just the grass. I've had people, my window's broke.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Why are you calling me?
Yeah. Why are you calling me?
My
You need a
AC's
referral?
acting up. I don't
Yeah.
know. Well, you haven't changed the air filter in a year.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
stuff
and
like that.
Stuff like that, and it's because they weren't educated on ownership.
Yes.
They just got some keys, and that's why I've never had an appreciation for realtors and lenders who had a one-off. It was just one-off. Oh, I got my deal done. On
Yeah.
Stuff like that, because education is so important. I'll use some relatives of mine I did a loan for, and it was an adjustable rate mortgage. Well, when it adjusted, they panicked. Okay, never once called me
Oh, wow.
to refinance it. They panicked. We can't afford this anymore. So then,
Just let it foreclose?
yes,
And that's the thing, guys, is that, we're not here just to do this as a one-off. If we are your real estate professionals, we're going to be here. If those questions do come up that you've
Right.
been in your home for a year, do give us a call. I take calls like that all the time, and we can actually say, well, and kind of explain that to you.
Okay.
Or like, hey, and I know that Dina's mentioned this before, if you get in a situation to where you're not able to afford your mortgage anymore, give us a call
And let us
early
know,
on
yeah,
in it.
for
'cause
solutions.
Maybe Jennifer can, write you a new loan and get that payment down. Or, maybe we go, well, this is what your note is,
Right.
but, you could actually probably get rents up to this amount for it until you
Mhm.
get into a better situation.
Exactly.
But those situations are always going to vary. But give us a call earlier in the process while we still have time to help you with that,
Exactly.
and then hopefully you can still keep that property and keep going forward.
and then I have to go to the dark side. There are some scammer programs out there as well.
There
Yeah,
are.
be
There is,
careful.
yeah.
Be careful, yeah.
Be very careful of the scammers.
Right.
I did have, over the last 20-something years and being in this industry, it's very unfortunate that people who are not familiar with the language of real estate and its contracts,
Mhm.
etc., responding to ads, responding to phone calls from people they do not know that were not referred to them.
Right.
Hey, I refinanced my home. Well, let me see these documents. Oh no, you signed your home over to this
That's
person.
right.
You're now paying rent to
Yeah,
this person.
that's right.
This is not your home anymore. And they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
they are, and there's nothing you can do once you put your signature to something like
Once you
that.
rely
Yeah,
that's
make sure
exactly
you
right.
understand what you're
What you're
signing before you
signing,
sign it.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to be honest, people, I mean, most of us, when they give us a contract, the person in front of us is telling us what that contract is saying, but we're not taking a read.
Yeah.
So just make sure when anything pertaining to a home, to any legal documents, you don't have to sign right there. Make sure you take the time to examine what you're signing.
Your
If
home
there's
is
It's a
the
binding
biggest- the
decline.
biggest investment you'll ever make.
Yep.
And it is the one tangible piece of property that you will have of ownership that always will appreciate.
Right.
So don't be so quick to,
Turn it over.
Get second opinions sometimes
That's right.
and ask questions.
Yeah,
And I think
because
that's-
down payment assistance, there is a sensitivity component to it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and you have people who have jobs to help, and then you have people in those jobs who judge.
Correct.
Mhm.
Okay, and so they're not trying to help you; they're just trying to keep their job. So they're not answering questions, stuff like that. So you have to be very, very inquisitive when it comes to these assistance programs. Know what your rights are, know what your protections are, and most importantly, so that you can hold on to that home. Because a lot of down payment assistance homeowners have lost their homes because they did not understand little things like HOA can file a lien, or
Yes.
tax liens, or tax sales, and things like that. I've read that this couple, even though they were escrowing,
Mm-hmm.
what they did was they were sending the payment in, and okay, I'll just hold on this money myself. but they never sent the tax payment in for like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Right, never sent the tax payment. Lean,
Yeah.
lean.
And many people even forget to file for their homestead exemptions.
That's
And that is a savings in itself at the end of the year. And, you know, or they thought they did it.
Well, I have, like me, I couldn't do it online because whatever. So I have to go in person to get my driver's license updated so I can get the homestead
Right.
exemption.
Yeah.
Your driver's license has to be matching up with the
Mhm.
property address. There's so many things to think about with home ownership. And after you get into the home, maintaining it is just
It's also, yeah.
it's an expense.
Yeah.
It is.
Not just the lawn care, you know, your
Right.
HVAC annual, or, you know, actually
Your
twice a
periodic
year,
maintenance.
yes. Yeah.
And I think that, you know, one of the biggest things is, like, you know, we're talking about scamming, though, is if they're asking for money up front,
Yeah.
No,
be a little leery of that.
yes.
If they're guaranteeing you
rushing you
that
to
something's
sign something without
Exactly.
having somebody look it over for you, that's a
or
sign.
you know they're guaranteeing you that, you know, like, if you know I guarantee that you're going to get approved, there's no guarantee until you actually get through the process.
That's right.
So just be very careful of that. Those are just some of the things that we can point out just to kind of watch out for
Right.
as you're looking at these programs.
And remember, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. Okay, this is the Real Estate U Show. I'm E.L. Crane, and they are not for obvious reasons. Because I'm the adorable one.
Cuter.
And we're going to take a break right there.